pull out your Excel. It should be. Let me move this
You
thing.
got it, right? The
Yeah.
file.
Let me check, man. One sec. You're sending it to my email?
I already sent it to your email.
You sent it to my email? I got yes, I got the spreadsheet file, if that's what you're talking about. Let me move that on to my
And I also sent Mochen.
yeah.
Basically, his idea was
Mm-hmm.
like you said, you use job descriptions to come up with a business idea or something.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's what, yeah.
Moiz seven eight
Yeah, I
six.
feel like a lot of this industry, a lot of this, like Alex, the analyst, like they oversimplify because for them it was so easy.
Yeah.
They're not able to like relate like how difficult it is, you know?
100%. Dude,
They're, they're,
if
they're,
you go ahead, go ahead. If you
yeah,
apply,
they're kind of just like building businesses.
mm,
Yeah, they're kind of just like building businesses, you know, based on like experience that would have worked in 2018, and they're definitely not telling the truth. They're very like
mm,
maybe scummy, I guess, because they are like they do have their own platforms and they are like making a lot of money, like
mm,
analyst builder.
okay.
I just yeah.
Their whole goal is to
So,
start a business, and it kind of makes sense, man.
yeah,
Like,
it does.
it's kind of like, what do you
But
do at that point?
the amount of lying you have to do and the amount of like, is there a word like it's not like gaslighting, but it's like humble lighting or something, like
Yeah,
where you're acting like super humble, but
yeah,
like you know,
100%.
you because like you know if you share this information, everyone would know. So like you keep it like low key, so people
Gatekeeping.
just keep paying more.
Yeah, it's called gatekeeping.
Gatekeeping. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. That's what they do. You know, they're like, oh, we're so humble. No, you're not.
yeah, totally. Okay, so I think you have some good, this is a good setup, man. So you have e-commerce, retail,
Oh,
finance,
that's
banking, healthcare, education, human resources, and you have a project for each or what?
I'm trying to look at companies, but it takes like so long for me to do the spreadsheet. Like I
I
would
want to
have to
make
dedicate
you
like
I want to make you a general
yeah.
one. Let me add a new tab and we'll just call it initial start. Is what I'm gonna call it, okay? Do you mind if I edit this?
Yeah, yeah, it's totally fine.
Okay, let me just move it to the front here. Or it won't let me, whatever, that's fine. Let's just call it initial start. Can you see that? Okay, and we'll do this. We're gonna do
Yeah.
skills. So skills, and we're gonna put you're doing data. You want to do like okay, so we should probably list this out too. So there's data analyst, there's data science, and you can edit that. There's database admin, and then there's one more. What was the other one? Uh, what should we call it? ML engineer, data analyst, data science, or we'll call it business analyst. So these are kind of the job descriptions you'll be targeting, right? Business analyst.
Right.
We'll say ML
Finance
developer.
analyst.
Finance analyst will say will come under business analyst.
Okay,
So
sure.
let's do like this. So data analyst, what do you need to know, right? Let's say you need to know
Mm,
Python, you need to know SQL, you need to know
mm,
Tableau, Power BI. So let's add that
mm.
in. Power Power BI. You need to know anything else? I guess presentations, data science. So you
Yeah,
need to know the same things. Python and SQL you for sure need
right.
to know. So we're gonna move that there.
Mm,
And then we're gonna go
yeah.
into
Sometimes
yeah.
is R common or we should
Yeah,
just
we're
skip
gonna add
R
R in
because
data science. Yeah, R is in data science. I don't
yeah.
think you have to know it for data analyst, but for data science for sure you have to know it. But we can also add it there for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So what do we have?
Mm,
Python, SQL, TensorFlow, R. We're gonna say something like um, Databricks or Snowflake. The Apache suite also matters. So Apache suite. We're gonna say cloud, and then we have database
mm.
admin. So a lot of this is data engineering. Let me search up data engineering tools. This is the one I know the least about because I don't really have to do this. Right, okay, I see them. So there's this one is Apache Kafka. I know that for sure because I had a friend use that in an internship. Apache Kafka. We have Apache Spark. PostgreSQL we can add on there. Apache Spark. We have Postgres, SQL. We can add on Amazon Redshift.
Mm.
And
Wow.
also,
Yeah, I've heard of these ones.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen them use MongoDB. We can add in Looker. We can add in MongoDB,
Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
Looker.
This is like real deal.
Yeah.
Not my one of my when I was graduating college,
Yeah.
one of my mentors, he's a data analyst professor, but he's like no, he's an assistant professor.
Hmm.
He's like super busy, but he gave me this very long data set,
Yeah.
like Excel cleaning and stuff.
Yeah.
And he told me like, welcome to the real world, these are big boy projects.
Yeah.
No
100%.
more. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
So
awesome.
we have Airflow there. So this is a good start. This is showing you what jobs map what DBT we need as well. Here I'll send you a link
Yeah.
for it. Top 20 data engineering as well. So the reason we're doing this is so you see what jobs are out there, what skills are needed. Then you're gonna go to projects. We're gonna reverse engineer it. Okay, so we're working
Uh,
backwards here. We're gonna start out from the skills because the skills will give you value. Without the skill,
mm,
there's no point. You can do whatever project if you're not showcasing it. It's not gonna help. So let's go to business analyst tools now. Let me search up what we have for business analyst tools, and
I would
then
say they would be similar to like for me, business analyst is more like less complex than probably all the domains, right?
100%. So
Because it
this
would
is
be like,
why we're gonna put Excel.
yeah, it'd be like, yeah, exactly.
Excel for sure. Okay,
Yeah.
so it'll go a little
Yeah.
bit into project management as well. Like it'll go into Trello and it'll go into Jira. So we're gonna add those on there.
Mm,
There's also so they're more focused on the Microsoft suite. So we're gonna also add in Microsoft
yeah.
Power Query, which is similar to Excel, but it's like a special form. When I say
Mm,
Excel, it's just like general stuff like financial analysis. So let's maybe we can write that in here. We'll say financial
mhm.
analysis, or like formula manipulation, and then Excel Power Query because I used Power Query at my last job. What else
Mm,
do we have on here that we could
okay.
use? Flowcharts, yeah, flowcharts are a big thing with business analysis. Flowcharts,
Yeah.
and then the most kind of relevant one of the time is the last one, the
Oh,
ML develop.
what about Scrum?
Yes, yeah,
Is
yeah,
Scrum?
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's add that in.
I hear
You
that
want?
like a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Scrum is good. Yeah, that's good. What
Yeah.
else, man? Let me see. ERP. Do you know what ERP is?
No.
ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So we're gonna add that in as well.
Oh,
And
ERP. Yeah, yeah, I've heard of ERP. Yeah.
yeah, so that's a big one. So they use like a lot of they'll use things like for example, there's how do I tell it? Data services. So like SAP will be one of them. That's a functional analyst role.
Yeah.
There's other data services one too, but I forgot what those are. Let's see, what else do we need? CRMs. A big, you know what CRM is?
I've heard of it. It's like a similar to Tableau, right? Like Salesforce, like
Yes, like
the dashboard.
Salesforce. Right, Salesforce is it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
CRM is customer
yeah.
resource management. That's HubSpot, Salesforce. So a lot of business analysts will work with those and help to run the business. A lot of your clients are on there, so that's
Hmm.
good to have. What else do we want? I think that's most. We can add OneDrive as well. OneDrive and SharePoint because a lot of the data is there. So add that in. You kind of see how the roles are different.
Yeah, they're very different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's using different skills. So it's like when you apply to them, you're gonna have different, and we're gonna go over job postings as well, right? Like I want you to screen
Right.
share and then show me what kind of jobs do you see on LinkedIn, and then we're gonna try to match these positions to those. I think we covered most of it. We can go into ML. So okay, let's go to ML developer AI. So this is AI agents. We're gonna put we'll list out ChatGPT, Gemini Copilot. There's specific machine learning developer Oh yeah, we can add in the machine learning techniques. Okay, so we have, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
computer vision. We have natural language processing, which is NLP. OCR is. Do you know what these acronyms are? Or no?
I the first one you said computer vision. I've heard. Yeah.
Okay, I'll put in the acronyms for you as well in brackets so then you can remember what they are. So we have computer vision, NLP, OCR, let's say sentiment analysis.
Yeah, I've
What
heard of
else?
Cinema.
For okay, Azure DevOps we can put in there. Yeah, DevOps is a big one. Do you know what DevOps is?
I've heard of Azure, but I
Okay.
don't know like
Azure is a
what
type
that
of
is.
cloud. DevOps is like development operations, so it's like pipelines.
Uh,
Let's
is it
see.
like Amazon Web Services or is that
Yeah.
something else?
Yeah, it's part of that. But what it is like it helps to run pipelines. So I guess we can so a big thing here, do you know what ETL and ELT is?
I've heard that in SQL. That's like the pipeline you create or something.
Yeah. That's a big thing for
That's
machine
like
learning. Yeah, yeah, go
that's
ahead.
like data engineering, right? Like
Yeah, so you have to do a
doing
little
that.
bit
So
of
like,
you have to do a little bit of that in machine learning engineering because you need the data set, you need to train it, you need to test it, and then you have to basically what do you have to do? You basically have to get your data, train it, test it, get an algorithm, run the model, and then get an accuracy and prediction. And there's different types. So these are the ones that I'm putting in. So supervised, semi-supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement are different machine learning techniques. Okay, so that's that.
mhm.
What else can we add to this
Okay.
technology? So that should
Would
be
data engineering also be one
yeah.
category?
Yeah, so data engineering
Okay.
overlaps with ML developer AI, so we can write, yeah, we can put that in here, data engineering, because it's used for model building. Um, what are the
Mm,
skills? I'm trying to figure out what else are we missing. Let's say, what are the skills a machine learning engineer needs? Machine learning engineer needs. Okay, so deep learning,
mm,
I missed that one. Statistics is another one. Object
right.
oriented programming, we need that as well, so let's add that in. Deep learning, statistics, object oriented programming. Do you know what that is?
I've heard of it, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I have a couple of videos on it. It's like how you write functions and loops, and it's basically just using
Oh.
math to make algorithms.
Mm,
Um, okay, we talked about deep learning, NLP reinforcement. We put in, and all these have data analysis, so we're kind of just gonna assume that's there. Three cloud
mhm.
platforms, problem solving. Okay, I think we covered most of it. Am I missing anything? Spark and Hadoop. Yeah, we could put in Spark and Hadoop in there. So you can see there's overlap in some of them, and then some of them are more defined. Um, okay, I think that should be a good start for your initial kind of list. And I'll send you the book of the big book of ML ops as well. I'll send it to you on Discord. Um,
Okay.
I should probably yeah, there we go. Okay, okay. So these are your skills. Now we're gonna go into let's make a project section here. Okay, so for data analyst, I'm just gonna say like follow the columns and then the projects are corresponding to the columns, okay? So for data analyst projects, let's say you wanna have a Tableau project. You wanna have a SQL
Hmm.
analysis, you wanna have basic Python commands, and you probably already had these. What else? We're gonna have
Yeah.
dashboards, which is kind of like Tableau. You can use something called Streamlit. That's very useful. It's a data visualization library, or you can have like a Visio project. Now for data science, you wanna have you wanna have let's do this regression, clustering, and this will lead into yeah this starts
Mm,
off with data science and it leads into machine learning. There's regression, clustering, classification. You can have something like a fraud analysis. You can have
mm,
for database admin, let's do database
mm.
admin slash engineering, okay? Because I think there's overlap between them. So engineering. So for that one, you want to have like a API with a pipeline. So it's like you scrape the data like a Yahoo Finance, or some sort of website. You scrape
Okay.
it. It could be Reddit. You could also get it from Reddit. Scrape and build a pipeline to get all the data ready for analysis, and then you can go into data science. So data engineer is like
Mhm.
the very first. The first role is data engineer. The data engineer comes in. They get their data. They get ETL, ELT. and then they feed it to the data analyst and data scientist. The data analyst does like the initial work, like dashboarding, visualizations, EDA. I should probably add. Do you know what EDA is?
Exploratory data analysis.
Yeah, correct. So they do the EDA. So the data analyst is like the first kind of like visualization person. So a database engineer or data engineer, they come in, they're like, hey, I have this data. It's from Excel. It's from MongoDB. It's from Postgres. It's from wherever. And it could be from a SAP HANA database. And they're like, okay, I have all this information, and I'm gonna clean it for you. I'm gonna make it organized for you. I'm gonna make it so you can visualize. Then the data analyst is like, okay, I got all this data. Let me make some graphs, charts. Let me make some models. Let me do some visualization. And then the data scientist is like, okay, you have all this initial EDA done. Let me make some predictions, do predictive analytics, descriptive analytics, prescriptive analytics. They start getting into like, how do we use this to save money or make money? Okay. So they'll go into like, okay, we're gonna make a regression model with them. It can be multifactorial, it can be a singular regression model, and we're gonna try to predict how do sales increase in this quarter? How many forest fires are there within the season? So they actually start answering the questions. The data analyst starts telling the story with some questions, and the data scientist is gonna answer those questions and predict them and give advice to the business. Okay, so that's why we have to have more
Oh,
specific modeling. So I'll put in here predictive analytics, and you can search all these terms up after. Prescriptive analytics. We have descriptive analytics, and then we'll say, is there any more? There's a bunch. There's like 5 or 6 of these type of analytics they do. And okay, and then database admin is connect to database or web scrape data. You can have something like that. Web scraping is a big one. So use API, you do web scraping. What else do you do? Another thing is with cloud, building pipeline via cloud. That's a good process to do. Or lucid chart. The other thing is AI automation, orchestration workflows is a good project to have. Orchestration workflows is another good project to have for database engineering. Let's search up what else we can do. Data engineering projects. Let's get some ideas here. Um, Call center transcripts. Interesting. Let's see. Does this give you a better idea of kind of where to start and where to
oh,
go?
this is very helpful.
Okay.
I'm very impressed. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. It's I'm just kind of amalgamating all my internships and going to events and trying to compile that for you in my head just so it's practical. The biggest thing is to be practical. I think all the
Yeah.
boot camps and data camp, career jumpstart, it's showing you good stuff, but it's not enough, man. Like the first
Oh, yeah, absolutely not.
yeah,
Yeah.
very first boot camp that I
And it's
did.
like whenever you try to reach out, sorry if I'm
Yeah.
talking
Yeah,
over
no,
you.
all good, all good.
I was saying like, yeah, I know. I was just saying like, because when you reach out to those mentors who
Yeah,
are in the program, they'll always have a bias towards the program.
100%.
And it's
100%.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
You gotta find people, man. The local people, people are willing to help. You gotta find someone who's like,
yeah.
they're also learning with you and they're not really
Mm.
asking you for money. Eventually, everyone will ask you for money. But if they're also getting the same benefit as you need to find people in a similar kind of skill level as you or who are willing to grow alongside of you. Those people will be helping
Yeah,
you.
it's a little in the Bay Area, it's a little bit harder because I feel like it's very tough to find, unless like if I were to go back in high school,
Sure.
like I feel like people in the Bay Area are a little bit more like
Mm,
career focused. Like, they spend like their whole life basically, like trying to like understand different careers and stuff.
mm.
So like by like 18 or like 19, they probably have like a decently solid portfolio. So
Okay.
it's like as someone who's like a lot older, it's a little bit tougher because I'm always, with like young professionals or people who are either
Sure.
senior positions. So it's a little bit tougher in the Bay Area to find those type of people, but I'm
Sure.
sure they do exist. It's
Yeah, I
just
get it.
like, like I was doing some like LinkedIn networking.
Yeah.
So like one of the mentors in the Data Career Jumpstart, his name is Trevor.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, He basically was like, if you go in your area,
Yeah.
like just type in like data analyst and connect with those people.
Yeah.
Whenever the second I connected with those people or like searched up,
Mm-hmm.
everyone was in like the FANG companies, right? Because that's the Bay Area.
Right. I
It's a
got
lot
you.
more difficult to reach those people because those people they're already like in the industry, you know.
Sure, I get that. So it
It's much
depends on.
harder yeah, it's
Go
a
ahead.
little bit more difficult, at least in these areas, you know, because even if I go to a networking event, it's like people are talking lingo that like number one, I don't really understand, and I get like kind of sidelined because
Sure.
it's like in the real world when they say like, yeah, no question is dumb, there are questions that people don't have time for.
Yeah, I
Like
get
that's just a fact.
Yeah, no, that makes
Yeah,
sense. All I'm saying is you just need to find people in general. They don't have to be in the Bay Area. I think
yeah,
James is in Bay Area too,
right.
so you might be able to meet him as well. I think the
Yeah,
biggest thing is like now you met me, right? And I'm like kind of 5 years in, and I see the
right.
overview, so I can product manage for you and kind of build out these frameworks and give you a start. And
Mm.
it's good for me too because I also have to be doing projects. We can even live code one of these projects together, you know. So
Okay.
that's something we can look into. So you're not alone in this, and we'll figure it out as we go.
Right.
It's just a matter of finding, like sitting down, finding a time. Like we could do it on the weekends, right, in the morning, something like that. But it's something we can
Yeah.
collaborate on. That's what James does. So this website I sent you with
Mm.
Radar Data Camp, it's really good. I think they have a lot of good projects on there. So
Okay.
I put a bunch of them there, and it's kind of the most I guess referenced one. The other ones I was kind of just brainstorming for you, so you can find specific ones for those. But the data engineering ones are good. So let's
Mm.
search up business analyst projects now.
So how would you like say I approach it? Would I just have to download like different tools and play around with it or
No, I think what you should do
like
is so what are you using right now to code?
I use a Jupyter notebooks.
Yeah, and where you is your Jupyter notebook from Anaconda? Is it from VS Code? Is it from
Yeah,
Google Colab? Like what?
Anaconda.
Okay, that's fine.
Anaconda.
You can keep using Anaconda. Anaconda also has like I think PySpark and TensorFlow and other things. So you can keep
Uh-huh.
using that. That's fine. All you need to do is you see how we listed out the skills. So what you need to do
Yeah,
is you have Python on Anaconda in Jupyter Notebook, right? SQL you can use with
right.
SQLite or SQL Magic in Anaconda. Tableau, Power BI you might have to download. RStudio you might have
Yeah,
to download. Yeah.
I have this thing called Parallel for Mac. It
Okay.
does simulate like a Windows
Sure.
virtual
Okay.
machine.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. You can use
Stack.
that.
Yeah.
You just need to have an environment where you can code, man. So it's like whatever works. Like you can do VS Code as well. Like that's pretty um universal, right? You can do.
Mhm.
I think that's it. I think there's X as well on the Mac. Like there's like Mac has its own software sometimes, but as long as you're doing Jupyter, you should be fine. I don't think the
Yeah.
tools are that important. It's more of what project do you do? Does it have value for the business, and does it
Mhm.
showcase the relevant skill that you're trying to showcase? Is I think that's more important. So this is why we're gonna
Mhm.
go over job descriptions in your area, or you try to find a
Sure.
remote role. And are you open to like relocation? What are your goals? Like, do
Yeah,
you
I've
want
been open for a while.
where would you want to move? Where's your
I've been open.
family, or where are your people at? Like,
Mhm.
where can you kind of go?
Yeah, yeah, for me it would be I would, like I'm living in California right now, right?
Yeah,
So it can either be in California, it could even be in Texas because there's a lot of sort of reshaping over there.
sure,
Florida or Georgia, like even
sure.
Tennessee, like I'm open. It's just like I need to get a little bit more feedback. And from like recruiter standpoint, I feel like they might have viewed my resume at some point, but
Yeah,
like you said, right? Like basic junior roles don't cut it. So it's like I have to really show that I'm someone worth even hiring, right? Like
yeah. So
so
that's kind of like based on a future lens. So let's talk about startups and let's talk
yeah.
about big companies. So what do you think is
Yeah.
the difference in the level of tech in like a FANG company versus a startup versus an operations company? Like how
Yeah,
like
startups are basic.
mhm. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, startup structures can go both ways. It can either be someone who got laid off from a FANG company,
Yeah.
so they have a little bit of structure to their workflow, or it could be someone who's just, like, again, someone who just got experience when they were young and they're like, let's start something from the ground up. So the workflow is more loose.
Sure. Yeah, okay.
But generally speaking, startups are a little bit more intense in the sense that since it's not a solid like business yet,
Yeah,
there's a lot of expectations have to be high.
sure.
So like there's probably just more of that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure.
And plus, one person probably takes over like multiple roles.
Right.
So there's definitely a little bit more stress, but I think it's good for learning,
Yeah, sure. Have you
like
ever
getting your
worked
foot
in
in.
something like a startup, or you're kind of just basing off what you know and
So there were
yeah.
Yeah, what I know, and also there were some startups, but the thing was a lot of the startups they wanted people with masters because they were like so startups can go both way. Either they're very easy, not easy, but like you
Mm,
can get into,
mm,
or they can be the ones where they require like masters or sometimes PhD because they're focusing on survival, right? So they
mm,
want the best of the best talent
mm,
to work here, and everyone else is kind of more like we'll see, right?
mm.
So
Sure.
in the Bay
Okay.
Area, unfortunately, I feel like it sways a little bit more towards like who has a master's or who has a PhD because
Mm,
they really want their team to develop. So it's a
sure.
little bit harder over here.
Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that. But you will make it if you have the plan and if you have mentorship and
for
you
sure.
I believe in the universe helping you once you start walking your journey. So I think as long as you're kind
Right.
of learning and growing yourself, you'll find a way. Because if I was able to find a way, you can
Yeah.
too, you know. And I didn't really
Mhm.
have the kind of
Yeah.
support that I'm giving you now, or like where like with my journey, I was kind of just trial and error, and I was much younger. I had a lot of growth to do.
Mhm.
So but like let me just sum it for you. So
Yeah.
out of like FANG companies, they're gonna be the ones with the most layoffs, in my opinion, because
Right.
their technical complexity is the highest and they have hardcore technical people. So all the managers they have. So they're gonna get AI managers. They're gonna get people to regulate AI and maintain it. Like you know how we have libraries in Python?
Mhm.
And sometimes the libraries get
Yep.
updated and like they stop working and you have to install the new one. All that maintenance stuff people are gonna do with AI. They're gonna regulate the pipelines. They're gonna what's it called? Maintain the systems, regulate any bugs. So those jobs are gonna be there, and that's at a senior level. Okay, so they're gonna keep those. All the intermediate junior people that they can replace, they will probably replace, right? And the other
Mhm.
thing is,
Yeah.
so those are very advanced companies. Like they have very technical people. Most technical people are going there. Operations companies like business units, like say healthcare, finance, agriculture.
Mhm.
What else is there? Is there any other industry that's big? What other industries do you have over there, man, in Bay Area?
Yeah, healthcare companies. We have big agriculture, right? We produce
Mm,
California. They produce like I think 30% of
mm,
U.S. agriculture. So there's big
mm,
farms. I'm sure
mm,
those sorts of companies.
mm,
I would say manufacturing not so
mm,
much,
mm,
but there are
yeah.
like
Mm.
there could be like car brands. Like
Automotive,
Tesla
right?
is more on the tech,
You're right. Yeah.
but maybe like Ford or Honda or something more like
Right.
that. Yeah.
Right, you got it. Okay, yeah, exactly. So all these operations companies, I would say they're a step below than the FANG companies in the sense that they don't have as much technical complexity, but they will hire
Yeah.
tech people. They'll hire the data analysts, the data scientists. We have oil and gas here. There's a lot of data analysts, data scientists for those.
Mm,
And those teams, so the way the structure of those teams work is you have a small team, you have a manager, you probably have like, I don't know, some project person who went into data analytics, but they're not actually a data analyst. They just got into that role because they worked there for 3, 4 years. They're more of a domain expert. And then you
mm,
have maybe one or two tech people on your team, and the rest of the tech people are siloed into other teams. So they're there, but they're not on your
mm,
team. You have to seek them out, you know? And now
mhm.
what happens in these companies is they're expecting you to be the subject matter experts. They're probably expecting you to have master's, PhD, like you said, with the FANG companies. And they're expecting
Right.
that
Yeah.
you're able to figure things out on your own. Like You have the education,
Mhm.
you've had the projects, you've cleared the rounds of interviews and everything, and you're able to do everything on your own. Like, there's not much mentorship or coaching. You're the one, the pioneer. You're kind of building out their systems.
Mm.
And these are roles where you can get promoted to senior level quickly because they don't have tech people. So you're the first tech person. If you do a good job, you get their work flowing, they'll probably promote you and move you to a higher level, and then you'll probably manage the juniors, intermediates at one point.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's the second type. The third type is the startups. So there's like big startups, and there's small startups, like ones with lots of funding, ones with not many funding. So the big startups, they probably have big technical teams, big rounds of fundings, like Shopify, or like we have Neo Financial here. And those are competitive. Like a lot of
Mhm.
people want to be in them. They have a brand name, skip the dishes, whatever, right? People want to join that. And they have technical
Right.
complexity, so they might have big technical teams. I would say more mid-sized technical teams, and then there's small startups. Now, these are people that are like, we have an idea, we're a domain expert, like a psychologist or a finance professional
Mhm.
or a doctor, and then they
Yeah.
decide to start a startup in addition to like their full-time job. This is the one where they're trying to figure
Right.
out how to use tech. They don't know, okay? So that's
Yeah.
where your
Yeah.
entry point is. And I started off the same way. Like I started off working for startups and I started help desk and then I just transitioned into various roles as I got more technical. And then the masters kind of opened doors for me because I had biology degree. And
Right.
basically, these are the companies you start off with. You learn the data stuff. You learn a lot very quickly, like you said. Like you're putting out fires, you're wearing different hats, you're like moving into different
Yeah.
roles, and you're kind of just trying to learn as much as you can, build out their systems. Now, once you're there for a year or two, now you have data experience, like real life data experience. Your learning is going to be much more targeted and you're going to be seeing what the market has. Then you're going to be try going to these operations companies with your 1 to 2 year of
Mhm.
experience. And let's just assume you've been doing a lot of projects, you've been networking, your brand is out there, people know you, you're getting invited to workshops. So now you're in an operations company. Probably what you're going to do with this operations
Right.
company is you're going to get into an intermediate role now. So you leveled up. You want to get to senior management, but sometimes there's a glass ceiling. Now, how do you get there? You're going to have to do
Mm.
some sort of education, man. You can do Georgia Tech, you can do a virtual master's, you're going to try to do something while working because the education is a limiting
Right.
factor. It's a barrier. It blocks you out. Okay, so you're gonna try to do something
Sure.
that's you're gonna upgrade your skills with. There, you could do the certifications. Like I have a friend. He's a petroleum engineer. He did all the tech certifications: Databricks, Snowflakes, DBT,
Mhm.
whatever. Like Azure, AWS. He did all the clouds. He got all these certifications. He's in a startup. He's getting paid to like 80 to 100K, and he's kind of just there. And he was gonna do UC Boulder's master's degree in data science or something. And he didn't do it, but now like he's realizing there's a glass ceiling at some point, right? So you can work your way up to like the
Yeah.
senior role, but it's just a bit smoother with a master's degree. So you don't initially need it, but at one step when you're trying to get promoted and level up, then you do need it. So that's something to keep in mind. It's like, what
For
do I do?
sure.
Do I do an online master's? Do I do a diploma? Like, what can I do to kind of give myself that brand, right? James is
Oh,
in
yeah,
right now
absolutely.
without a master's. So this is a special case.
Mhm.
You say, but he has a CS degree. He already has a technical degree. We don't, right? So we can't really be in that situation.
Yeah.
So
It's
basically,
more difficult. Yeah.
exactly. So, but and if you notice, he's been working for like 10 years, man, in this space, like 5 years or 4 years of
Mm.
undergrad, and then 4 or 5 years of work experience. And then he's been making videos. He's learning. He's producing content. He's tracked his whole journey, and he's built out a lot of cool stuff. And he prepared leak code, and he did all
Right.
these like hard interviews, and he got in, right? That's the other case. So you can be like him, which
Yeah.
I say is better to be like him. Document your journey from the start, do your projects, do
Yeah.
collabs with people, do a survival job to pay your
Right.
bills, and then learn the stuff on the side as you go, and then incorporate into your job. Try to get
Right.
into a startup, work in it for a bit, keep another business on the side. So if you do lose your job, because a lot of layoffs happen, if you do lose your job, then you
Mm.
can have some income coming in, and then just work your way into the field. That's what I'd recommend. And okay, so now
Mm.
if you look at our document, there's a lot of content on here. Okay, I'd recommend
Mhm.
starting from one side. Start from like the data analyst side. So the reason I put this up in this order was just to get you a flow of like how things work. So we can move stuff around, but I would say start data analyst, and then you can go into data science, and then you can go to business analyst, then you can go to database admin, and then
Right.
you can go to ML developers and AI. So that's what I would recommend doing. I think the data science and data analyst projects are a bit easier Then you can go to more domain business analyst, and you can go to other ones. And if you do these and create 2 to 3 projects in each category, we have what, 5
Right.
projects, and you have two each. Let's say that's 10 projects right there. That's a portfolio. Okay.
Mm.
So let me see if I can show you one of my friend's websites. He's working at an oil and gas company right now. I'll give you an example.
One question I had about, um,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. What's up?
Uh, yeah, I was saying like one question I had, like, would you have to finish the masters or like can you like do them halfway and then like,
Yeah,
or
that's
they
a good
expect you to?
that's a good question. So I have 10 courses in my master's I was supposed to do. It's a 1 year long master's. I expanded it to 2 years. I have 4 courses
Mm.
left: two business and specialization courses, and then two internship courses. I want to do it for projection into 10 years in the future. In the short run, the masters
Mm.
might not help me. I'm not sure. If I can get a recent grad role, if I can get an internship at a good company, it'll be good. I did get rejections from places I was
Right.
interviewing recently, so I don't know what I'm going to be doing in the fall. All I know is I'm trying to build up my YouTube channel in the 4 months that I have, do collabs, get my project set up. I'm gonna be tutoring. I'm gonna try to find some survival job or some summer job, get some more income, and then
Right.
try to get some income for, because I'm going back in winter in evening classes, Tuesday, Thursdays.
Mm.
And I'm gonna keep up with my, like, keep track of the people graduated from my year this year. I'll go to their graduation. Also just see what projects they're doing, what companies they ended up into, keep doing coffee chats, make a spreadsheet, and then just try my
Mm.
best, man. It's always been hard for me personally. Some people just get things easier.
Right.
Anything I've ever gotten in life has come with a lot of difficulty and a lot of kind of just
Same,
grinding.
same here. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Same,
some
exact
people's, their
same.
life
Yeah.
is just like that, like we can't really complain. We just have to go with it. I'm gonna share my screen for you just so
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
can see this. Let me know if you see this. Do you see this guy's website on
Yeah, I
Discord?
see.
Okay, so this is my buddy. He did Master
Yep.
of Data Science. He has a Microsoft Fabric project, which this is very useful to know. A lot of companies like this. He has a SQL project. He has a nonprofit dashboard in Power BI. He has an Airbnb EDA on Python. Do you see how he's targeting different skills? These are
Yeah.
all on the job description. He has an R project. He has
Mm.
another Python project, Tableau. And then he has his happiness project was good. He has something on Notion as well. Notion is good to use, good tool. He has
Mm.
certifications. These are good to
Yeah.
have. They might not get you into anything, but they're still good to have. Like, I think the most useful one is this one, the Fabric Analytics Engineer, and it's level 2. There's 2 stars. These ones are basic. You can do these.
Mhm.
Sometimes university offers them. You can even try the data analytics
Right.
certificate from Coursera if you want. And then he's kind of just, the more times data comes up in your resume, the better. Master of data analyst
Yeah.
certificate, worked as a data
That's
analyst.
true.
He's an engineer. They really like engineers. So that's another thing. And then he has kind of
Mhm.
his personalization. People, I guess, give him recommendations, and that's it. So basically, what I'm trying to show you is you want diverse projects in the beginning to show you can target different
Mhm.
things, right? So that's something to keep in mind. And so on our spreadsheet, basically go through it. Um, Start on data analyst, go to data science, make it relevant to. You can do it based on, like, what are your hobbies, man? What do you do in your spare time?
Mm. Yeah,
You can
not
do
so
it.
much. I like have started playing tennis,
Tennis, that's good.
so
You
I
can
could
do a tennis
maybe.
project. Yeah. Okay, keep
Mhm.
going.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, not so much, actually.
Okay.
Like I read books, but it's
Okay.
like not.
That's good. You could do a
Yeah,
project on
I'm
libraries
into,
or books. Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
yeah, I'm into, I guess, like health and fitness,
Okay. Good.
finance, but like not like very deep finance. That's why I was like trying to get like a bankroll, like I just after
Sure.
graduation, I it was like I wanted to get like an entry level, like
Yeah.
a banking, maybe a customer client representative type role or something. But
Sure.
yeah, the Yahoo, the finance thing one that you were talking about,
You
that
like
seemed
that?
pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yahoo has a lot of
If
API.
I can web scrape it,
Yeah.
if I can like web scrape the project and like showcase, I think it'd be easier for me to understand. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Awesome. Do that. Okay. So I put your passions at the bottom here. On, like, cell
Okay.
40, A40. So add into that, write the things you like, because once you do a project based on something you like, it makes a lot of
Oh,
things easy. So I also did like
yeah.
an Indian food project, analysis on food. That's cool. You
Oh,
know, you can do it on
yeah.
cars, you can do it on sports, you can do it on finance, you can do it on wildfires, you can do it on weather stuff. Like, there's so much you
Oh,
can do
yeah,
on this.
yeah.
So all you need to do is you need to get a domain targeted to one of those projects. So let's also add some more. So let's say agriculture. Let's say
Mhm,
weather. We'll add in as well.
mhm.
Agriculture, weather. What else can we do? Sports. We can
Right.
do arts. Hmm. Is there any other category that you could
So
do?
basically it's broad enough so like if I were to let's say like in the I guess future, I don't think I'm ready to right now apply. That's why I've taken a
Mm,
break for applying like analyst roles like
mm,
during the year. I'm more doing like other type
mm.
of like roles, just like you said, survival roles.
Sure.
But like I feel like with these passions, I feel like it's broad enough for like I could like apply at some point. Like I could basically say like, oh, I have a sports project, so
Yeah.
I'm applying to a sports company. But
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
more quick. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. That's exactly what
Yeah.
we're trying to do here. So if there's a company that has a domain and it has the skill and you have a
Yeah.
project for them, you can use that project. So now what you gotta do is I want you to kind of show me the jobs in your area. So can you screen share? So I'm at a jobs thing down here as well under passions. So can you screen share and show me what kind of jobs do you see on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll type in like data analyst for now.
Sure. And you can just screen share from Discord and then we can kind of check that out.
All right. Yeah, screen share. This one again. Yep. All right, can you see it?
Give me one sec. It's just loading here. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So this is like the first one. It's Monzo Bank.
Okay.
And let's see what it says. Should I look into yeah, maybe the skills, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see what it says here. So So you should apply. Okay, let's go over what it says. Monzo Bank, San Francisco hybrid. Okay, that's a key thing. What did it say? Business first
Mm.
mindset, problem statements, commercial, customer, and operational. Okay, you see a SQL over there. You see Snowflake, BigQuery, Redshift.
Yeah,
You saw we listed those
right.
down in our skills, right? You see some overlap. You see
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
Looker, Tableau, Power BI. We also listed those down, right? See the overlap there.
Right.
What else do we have? Data
Yeah.
modeling. They're not specifying what they're using, but that'll be SQL. And look at that. Experience working in
Mm,
fintech, banking, or regulated industries. Right. So
mm, right.
I also was thinking like you when I started my tech journeys, I wanted to work in a bank and then move into tech. I was thinking the same way. That didn't
Yeah.
happen for me. I went into help desk analyst. I started contracting for Shaw on their help desk. So I was more on the IT side. So I started IT and then I tried to move into tech. So that might be something that you could do as well. Back then it was easier to do
Right.
that. Now I don't know. It's just everyone is vying for any type of job. So you might not be able to
Yeah.
work in a bank, but you will if you had like 4 or 5 banking projects, I think that would still be relevant, you know? Or if you had a
And
mentor.
that's why
Yeah.
I think that's why this session was very important because if I keep doing the same thing over and over
Mm,
and I don't get the same results, then I can't be frustrated. So
mm,
like again, we were talking about in the beginning, right? Junior roles aren't
mm,
as common.
mm,
So my right now my projects are more like 2018, 2020 level of like
mm,
thinking.
mm,
So I feel like the projects have to be a lot more like, at least what they were saying, BigQuery, at least use
mm,
one of those tools.
mm. Yeah,
Make it
100%. Modern.
a little bit more something that
Mm.
they're like, yeah, this guy gets it. Because I can't just be playing the same old, game.
100%. So let's just say you applied to this role with your resume and none of those keywords were there. No Looker, Tableau, Power BI, BigQuery, Snowflake. If none of that was there, the AI would skip past you and be like, this person's not a good fit. because
Exactly.
your
Yeah.
keywords are not there, right? So it would just be like,
But
okay,
even if I like,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna
Go
say
ahead. Go
like
ahead.
ATS is a big thing. So it basically tries to see what is the percentage match. It's almost like a recommendation engine. So it'll be like this person went on Netflix and they watched these shows. They might like these other shows. We have this job. We're trying to look at the resume and find keywords and matches. And oh yeah, we only see it come up 50% of the time, or 60%, or 70%. Because a lot of the companies are using AI to hire people now. So you have to work with the ATS. So you need the projects to match up and you need the
Yeah,
experience to
exactly.
match up. The only other way you can bypass that is if you went to Monzo Bank in person and talked to someone there, dropped off your resume,
Mm,
and you got them to know who you were off paper. So that's it. There's
right.
cold applying and there's warm applying, right? That's the other thing. So Monzo Bank seems like
Yeah.
they're looking for someone who's worked in fintech and banking for a while, who knows a bunch of data stuff. So this would be an intermediate role.
Yeah.
What other roles do you have up here?
Yeah. When I type in entry level, should I type entry level?
Sure, yeah, sure. Why not? Maybe it makes the search a bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about Ripple Match. I feel like have you heard of Lenza?
No.
Oh yeah, right here, Lenza. I
Oh,
whenever I go on their website, it's like
is it sus?
it's one of those it's one of those really weird like recruiting companies.
Then don't go to them, but we'll read their job description though. Usually, okay, so
Yeah,
another
no,
thing
no,
keep in
but
mind is,
let's
yeah, yeah, check it out. Entry
yeah.
level.
Like there's some websites where like when you click on the website, so if I were to click apply,
Yeah,
it would basically want me to upload the resume, basically create it's like data farming, I guess,
yeah, it is.
to find a match. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel sincere. Like I feel like I don't want to do that.
Then you don't have to. You can avoid that. All I'm trying to get a sense is how
Right.
many entry level roles are there versus intermediate, and how much do you have to work and make projects for them to think that you're intermediate. So this description's very basic. They didn't spend too much time on it. You do have the econ degree, right?
Yeah, I have the econ degree.
Right. I've seen a lot of jobs with econ degrees, so at least you have that. For me, I had biology
Yeah.
degree, and that's not listed on here.
Mm.
But I have master's degree in data science,
Yeah.
what I'm working towards, so now I'm eligible. Before I wasn't. Okay, prior work experience in trading
Right.
or in data analyst. So they want someone a bit experienced. Look at that, statistical analysis came up. Python, R SQL. We wrote that in
Mm.
our skills. That's coming up. Tableau, Power BI is coming up. So it looks like these five
Yeah,
skills is what
perfect.
they're looking for. Python, R SQL, Tableau, Power BI. We've seen this come up twice. That's five projects that you got to make based on your passions, okay, into your portfolio.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you already have or what you already covered. I'm sure you have some. But this
Right.
you put those five projects in your basic portfolio and then you try to do some intermediate projects. So say you do five basic
Mhm.
data analyst projects and then you go into the data science category and do five data science projects. That's 10 projects.
Mhm.
Then you make your website. That's a whole
Yeah.
project. You can hard code your website. You can do it on GitHub Pages. You can do it on something else. That's a whole project. Okay. And then after
Right.
that, you're gonna do networking, and you're gonna make a spreadsheet with people that you're gonna
Mm.
talk to. You need to be very salesy, so you need to list the people that you're talking to, and you need to write what company they're from, and you need to write how many times they contact them, and then go from there. So this is all extra work that
Mhm.
you're gonna do in the evenings or weekends when you're not working for your actual job.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
you can kind of check in with me and let me know how things go as an accountability person. And then once you've gotten
Okay.
all your projects done, I want you to demo them with me, and then we'll go through them,
Alright.
and then we'll see the
Alright.
process. So this is what I would recommend for you to do based on what
Mm.
I know.
Okay.
How does that feel?
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, that feels good, yeah.
So
I just feel like when it comes to projects, it's like it feels a lot in the beginning because like, I don't know exactly, like, how I would use, like, R or, like, Python as such. Because like, at the end of the day, it's like, what business problem are you trying to solve? And that
sure,
sometimes is a little bit difficult because I haven't, like, worked in industry.
sure.
Because
Let's
like, I
let's
feel like if I
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
and by the way, I did connect with this Thomas guy, but he didn't respond.
okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay, so one thing to keep in mind in the beginning, don't worry about the business problem too much. In the beginning, what you want to do is you
Okay.
want to show that I can do Python, I can do SQL, I can do Tableau, Power BI, I can do R. You want to show them that I can do
Right.
these. This my project is showing the skill. After you make those five
Mm.
skill oriented projects that's showing the skill and the commands that are used in them and proficiency in that, then you're going to think of business problem. So that's
Right.
thinking of the business problem is more intermediate, I think. But it is something you have to do. But I
Mhm.
think in the very beginning, if you're very fresh, you want to showcase what skills do you have. And then you want to reuse those skills to focus on a business problem. It's like a second step, you know?
Okay.
So then you're gonna target it to an industry, then you're gonna like showcase the business problem and skill. And you're gonna make every time you make a project, you need a demo, you need a presentation like Google Slides or like some sort of presentation format, and you need your code. You need
Mhm.
three things. Demo is like you were walking someone through it, like a recorded version. Presentation is like the slides, and then the GitHub and the code is the repository. So you're all the devs can see
Mhm.
your repository. The business people look at your presentation and demo, and then you also practice your speaking
Mhm.
skills in the demo. So you want to hit three things every time you do a project. So I'm
Okay.
gonna walk you through how to make the GitHub. So one thing I want you to do is go to Kaggle, Kaggle, and then search up
Yeah, I'll do
data
that.
analyst project or something, and just keep screen sharing that.
Mhm. Yeah, I'll share that.
Sure.
Yeah, let me stop sharing this one.
Yeah.
I'll share this one. Let's see what share screen. Okay. Yeah. So I typed in data analyst.
Yeah.
I have to go to data sets, right?
Yeah. You can go to data sets. You can even just go to notebooks. The key thing I'm trying to show you is how do people set up their project is what I want to show you.
Okay.
Right. So just go on any of them. Let's just see what comes up, and then we can go to the data set as well. That's fine. The
Yeah.
what you want to
I
see is
guess.
how are they walking through their storytelling and how do they have it set up is what we're trying to really figure out here.
Mhm.
Just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to get this moved to the other screen. So then we can see it. Okay, right. So you, what does it say? Code. Click on the third one. Data analyst jobs with R. Let's look at that one.
Hard.
The the third one where it says yeah, this one. Okay, go down. Let's see what they did. So okay, go to view more for a sec. So there's basically they're
View
talking about
more.
they're talking about all the different jobs. Okay, there's no code on here, eh? Go down. So this is just the data set. I want to go through it
Oh
with
no, we're
you.
going to code. Yes.
Yeah, we need someone who
Oh,
actually
oh, oh,
yeah,
I
we
got
need
it.
someone who actually
Okay. Yeah.
showed uh wait, go to the fourth one. Visualize data of
Match.
data analyst data set. Go to that one actually. This one is yeah, go to that. Let's see what they did there. Is it working? Or is it slow or what? Did you double click it?
Oh, oh, okay. Let me share this tab. Sorry.
Right,
I
all good.
forgot to share the tabs.
Sure, yeah. So you got
Yeah.
histogram of salary estimates. So go to the very top. So let's just go over the code real quick. They all that stuff in the beginning is importing libraries. You probably know how to do that. Go down. Then they
Yeah.
imported the OS and this is all Kaggle stuff. Then they did the reading of the file. So they had that CSV file and they printed out the head. Go down. Now they're looking at what are the rows and columns saying. Keep going down. And then after that, they made what is this? Extract minimum maximum salary from salary estimates. They're extracting values. They're converting extracted salary. So this is data cleaning, a bit data wrangling is what they're doing. Go down. This is going to visualization. plt.figure. There's a matplotlib, which is a library that does visualization. So you probably want to show this in your projects. They have a histogram. They also have a curve that they're showing, like a sinusoidal curve. Keep going down. Um, Yeah, so this is a good graph to show distribution of salary estimates for data analyst positions, and they're showing the salary in USD, and they're showing the frequency of them. So most of the jobs seem like they're what, like 40K ish. 500 jobs are
Mm.
paying 40K salaries, and there's other jobs. Very few jobs are paying 150,000, I guess. Okay, keep going down. What else?
Mhm.
Do you see how they're structuring it? Now they have a second plot. Keep going down. So
Yeah.
this person's project shows that we know how to read data sets, we know how to use libraries, we know how to use Python, we know how to make visualizations with Python. Do you see how it's showing the
Mm.
skill? And
Yeah, I see it.
we can say their business problem is they're figuring out what the job market is and how many data roles there are. We can say that's the business problem. It's a very basic problem.
Right.
But through this project, you can see that they know how to use graphs, they know how to import libraries, and they know how to set things up for like a basic EDA. So this is the very basic level project,
Right.
right? But it's showing their skill.
Mhm.
So this is the very first project that every
Yeah.
person needs to create, something like this.
Right.
And you
I
want
think
my
I have one of these as
I think you
well.
do. That's why I was like, if you can show me where you're at, then I can build you up from there and see, right?
Okay, yeah.
So
I have my GitHub I can share if you wanna see it.
yeah, you can quickly go through it. I'm gonna have to go soon, but we'll do another call, maybe like in
Okay,
a
yeah.
week or two.
Just very quickly.
Yeah, yeah, go for it, go
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
Just
No,
quickly run
just
me through it.
very quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand, I'm grateful that you took the time today
Well, you met me at a
in
time where I
general.
had time, and I'm trying to build up my
Yeah.
channel, so you're also helping me, right? Um, helping me learn what I need to do because I'm trying to do something similar to James, but for people that I meet on my journey. So yeah, and
Yeah.
it's also good because like I
Do you
also
see
need to do those projects. Yeah. Okay. So which one do you want to show? Okay. Also, I
it?
should give some feedback
Yes.
too. So just wait. Don't show anything yet. So you want a picture. You want to have something on your profile on the left. You want to give like your your time zone. You want to have a README file where it talks about who you are and what you want to do, and you can put gifs on there. And then those projects, you want to
Okay.
pin them as well. So you got 6 projects or 5 projects. That's good. Okay. Which one do
Yeah.
you want to show?
I can show anyone. Let's
Just pick one.
go with, I guess, yeah, we'll go with the Walmart one.
Okay.
This one was from Kaggle
Okay.
or Kaggle,
Sure.
but yeah, I like
Okay,
showed
this is
like,
good.
what, I
Yeah,
guess,
this is a good start. So you have
yeah.
your README file, you've shown the steps, you walk through the process. That's good. Okay, yeah, very good. You have questions. Yeah, cool. Nice. Where is your, do you have, there's your Python file, right? Yeah, go there. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, my one.
Jupyter Notebook.
This one was a while ago,
Okay, keep going.
so I
This is
had like
good.
the color.
Yep, this is good. All the right
I
process.
just
All these steps are good. Yeah,
yeah.
keep going. So you know how what you're doing. This is better than the
Um,
one we saw in Kaggle already because you've done more data wrangling and more data types and okay, keep going
right.
down. Just trying to get an overview of it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
good.
null values are also
Yeah,
yeah.
keep going. Okay, you got a flag there. Okay, percent of holidays with the flag. Okay, good, good chart. What else? Keep going.
And let's
Value counts. Okay, keep going, keep going. What else did you showcase? Okay, weekly sales unemployment.
like
Good.
unemployable.
Yeah, that's good. Storing
Yeah.
invoice. Okay, average weekly sales. Good. Okay, and they're big sales. Okay, okay. Keep
Mm,
going. Average weekly sales plot. Okay, sure. And it's telling different stores. Yeah, that's good. Okay. What else? Which stores are the lowest employment? Sure. Repeating same logic. Okay, keep going. Unemployment. Sure. Yeah, keep going. What else? What else? Average employment. Okay, okay. Keep going. CPIs. CPI year. Okay. CPI by year. Okay.
mm.
Yeah, keep going. Okay, so this is what a recruiter is gonna
Yeah,
do.
that's
They're gonna quickly go through your project and they're gonna be like, okay, this person knows how to
uh,
import libraries, they know how to do data wrangling, they have a couple of graphs. This is a good project. It's similar to the one we just saw. So you already have the basic one done.
yeah.
Not bad. So you could
Right.
use a part two of this project, Walmart data analysis part
Mm.
two, and you could do machine learning with it or data science modeling with it or a dashboard. So you can build this project up. Walmart data analysis is a good start. Like you can use your file, your
Right.
CSV file. Now you can make a dashboard and make it interactive on Tableau or Power BI or on Streamlit. And then you make a model for it. You do a
Mm.
regression analysis or a prediction analysis with it. That's part three. Then you can have a part four. And that can be like, I don't know, combining it with
Yeah.
other store data and using an API to web scrape with Reddit or Yahoo Finance or something. That's part four. And then part five is you put it on the cloud. Do you see how you can build up this one
Mm.
project that you have into 5 different parts?
Yeah.
and it's showing different skills. That's kind of how what you have to think.